Welcome back, Legends. Today is a big day because the new Drive Syndicate side story has officially launched. Drive Syndicate. Operation Cerberus is finally here. And honestly, if you play Asphalt Legends and you skip Drive Syndicate, you're not just skipping an event, you're skipping one of the biggest progression opportunities in the entire game. This event gives players the chance to unlock multiple cars, earn valuable rewards, and push their garage much further than a normal event. Even beginners can walk away with a new car. F2P players can also make some really good progress here. But there is one condition. You need to know how to manage your resources. You need to know where to spend your Syndicate coins. You need to know the expected star requirements. And most importantly, you need to avoid wasting resources early because one bad investment can completely destroy your progress later. So in this video, I'm going to give you everything you need to know before spending a single Syndicate coin. We'll talk about support cars, expected requirements, F2P progression, rewards, and some important tips that can save your entire run. Event overview. First, let's look at the event duration. Operation Cerberus started on June 2nd and will run all the way until July 8th. That's a total of 36 days, a very long event. Now on paper, that sounds great. Lots of time, low pressure, no need to rush. But if you've played Drive Syndicate before, you already know that's not how it works. A long Drive Syndicate usually means a very long grind. It means you'll have to manage resources carefully for over a month. And if you waste resources early, you'll feel the consequences weeks later. That's why planning is everything. The support car lineup. Now let's talk about the most important part of this event, the support cars, because no matter how skilled you are, without the required cars, you simply cannot progress. Here are the cars featured in Operation Cerberus. TVR Cerberus Speed 12, main feature car. Audi R8 Coupe V10 Performance Quattro. De Tomaso P900. Aston Martin 177. Zenvo Aurora Agil. SSC Tuatara. This lineup looks pretty good. The biggest reason is simple. Only one of these cars is a key car, the SSC Tuatara. Most of the featured cars are not rare. That immediately increases the chances for players to unlock multiple vehicles throughout the event. Compared to some previous Drive Syndicates, where key cars were everywhere, this lineup is definitely more approachable and less demanding. Expected star requirements. Now, before you spend anything, let's talk about what could be the most important information in the entire video. The expected star requirements. Based on previous Drive Syndicate patterns, this is what we're expecting. Audi R8 Coupe V10 Performance Quattro, 2 stars. De Tomaso P900, 2 stars. Aston Martin 177, 3 stars. Zenvo Aurora Agil, 4 stars. SSC Tuatara, 4 stars. TVR Cerberus Speed 12, 3 stars. Now listen carefully. These are not confirmed. These are predictions based on previous Drive Syndicate events. So don't rush. If you start upgrading cars immediately and later discover the game never required those upgrades, you've just wasted resources for absolutely no reason. And in Drive Syndicate, wasting Syndicate coins is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. The biggest mistake players are making. Right now, I'm already seeing the exact same mistake again. Players are spending Syndicate coins too early, upgrading cars too fast, trying to rush chapters, trying to rush milestones, and then later they hit a wall, because when the real requirements appear, they no longer have enough resources left. Remember this rule: upgrade only when necessary. Upgrade only when the game forces you. Upgrade only to the minimum requirement. Anything beyond that can become a very expensive mistake. Syndicate coins are limited. Treat every single coin like it's valuable, because it is. Why this Drive Syndicate looks more promising. Now, compared to the previous side story, this one actually looks much more promising. And the reason is the support car lineup. A lot of paying players already have decent progress on these cars. Many veteran players already own some of these vehicles. And even F2P players have a better chance to make meaningful progress because several of the support cars are non-key vehicles. Now, don't get me wrong. The event structure itself is basically identical to a normal Drive Syndicate. We still have mission paths, pinned missions, syndicate points, syndicate coins, milestones. Everything feels very familiar, but I do think Gameloft may have reduced some of the difficulty compared to a full original Drive Syndicate. At least that's what it looks like right now. We'll know more once players push deeper into the event. How far can F2P players go? Now let's answer the question everyone is asking. How far can F2P players realistically go? From what I'm seeing right now, veteran F2P players have a realistic chance to reach around 450,000 Syndicate points, maybe even further depending on their garage. At that level, unlocking the Zenvo Aurora Agil looks possible, and that's a huge reward, because unlike many previous Drive Syndicate cars, the Zenvo Aurora Agil is not a key car. That makes progression much more rewarding. That's already excellent value for F2P players. Now, if you're a mid-level F2P player, the situation still looks pretty good. Around 250,000 Syndicate points seems achievable, and at that point, unlocking the Aston Martin 177 looks very possible. That's also solid progress. So unlike some previous Drive Syndicates where many players got completely blocked early, this event appears to offer meaningful rewards across multiple progression levels. Important tips for every player. Now let's finish with some important tips. Don't panic buy upgrades. Wait until you actually need them. Save your Syndicate coins whenever possible. Don't spend them just because they're available. Use wildcards before spending Syndicate coins. This is a huge one. Wildcards can save an enormous amount of resources, and Syndicate coins are always the bottleneck. The more coins you save, the further you'll go later. Keep an eye on relay packs. If relay packs aren't available at the beginning of the event, they usually appear near the final week, and sometimes they can provide the extra push needed to reach another milestone. That doesn't mean buy everything immediately. Buy only what you actually need. The goal isn't spending more resources, the goal is reaching more rewards. Final thoughts. So after looking at everything, I have to say Operation Cerberus is giving me a much better first impression than the previous Drive Syndicate side story. The support car lineup is stronger, most of the featured cars are not rare, and that immediately makes progression feel more rewarding because players have a realistic chance of actually adding new cars to their garage. The event is still a long 36-day grind, and just like every Drive Syndicate, resource management will be the deciding factor between success and getting stuck. The good news is that both mid-level and veteran F2P players seem to have meaningful goals this time. Mid-level players can potentially reach the Aston Martin 177, while veteran F2P players may have a chance to push all the way toward the Zenvo Aurora Agil if they manage their resources correctly. That alone makes this event feel more generous than some of the previous Drive Syndicates we've seen. At the same time, don't make the mistake of thinking this event is easy. The deeper you go, the more your progress will depend on your garage strength, your support car stars, and how efficiently you spend your Syndicate coins. One unnecessary upgrade today could be the reason you hit a wall 2 or 3 weeks from now. That's why patience is going to be one of the most valuable resources in this entire event. Use your wildcards whenever possible, avoid rushing upgrades, keep an eye on future requirements, and don't spend coins unless the game forces you to. Right now, Operation Cerberus looks promising, especially compared to the previous side story, but the real test will come in the later chapters when the requirements become more demanding. For now, I think this is an event worth playing, worth grinding, and worth planning carefully. There are some very good rewards available here, and if you approach it with a smart strategy instead of rushing, you can walk away with some fantastic additions to your garage by the time the event comes to an end. Let me know down in the comments how far you've progressed so far and what your target is for this event. Good luck with your grind, Legends. Don't forget to subscribe, Legends. See you on the track.